Welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to Tips with the Flawless Team.
Welcome back. I hope that you've enjoyed all of our other little episodes for our YouTube series.
So today, let's see what we can talk about. What advice we can give our viewers. I was thinking, what advice or tip would you give to someone who is, in the workforce and experiencing sexual harassment?
Ooh, yikes. Yeah. Okay, so for me, I'm always that straightforward, just tell everybody, anyone who will listen, stand up for yourself. That's just my personality. And I know that for some people, maybe they're just not like that. So maybe they need to kind of rally with other people to find that support. And I think that's kind of what's going on in the world right now, which is platforms for women and actually just people, period, to speak out against harassment and things that, that have happened to them.
Right. I know it's hard because sometimes, you need that income. You have a family to support, and, it's very hard to tell someone. So for me, I've never been in that position, but I remember I experienced a boss who loved to scream. He would go around the office and he would scream at everyone, and it was so taunting. It was like, oh, here he comes. And one day I thought I was going to be the next in line, and I called my husband and I said, hey, let me tell you what's going on here. If this MO, y'all know what that means, right? Or MF? No.
Yeah, there you go. Wait, what's MO? Mofo.
Okay, MF. But anyway, if he comes to me and he screams and yells at me for no apparent reason, do I have your permission to quit?
And support.
Yeah, exactly. Your support to say, I'm out of here. You are never going to do this to me again. Blah, and go to HR and the whole thing. But, it's just any type of harassment is horrible. So to experience that, I think you should stand up for yourself and try to get a support, together so that you could address the issue.
Right. So I think that's what is leading into what's known as the Me Too movement, which is support.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if a lot of people know the history of the Me Too movement. It actually was started back in 2006 by Tarana Burke, who is a civil rights activist. So she basically founded this movement to help survivors of sexual violence, particularly women of color in low wealth communities, to find pathway of healing. So in other words, she wanted people to know you're not alone.
Yes.
So she has been doing this for so long, and I'm glad that people are starting to recognize where it started and to carry on with this. And I know that her, along with a few other people, last year for 2017 were Time Magazine named them Time Person of the Year for 2017. So her, Rose McGowan, who is doing Citizen Rose right now, which I actually had a chance to watch on E! Did you watch?
Yes. And she wrote her book.
She did.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
So, I mean, we need women and men who can support this whole movement. I know Terry Crews is also, I feel like he was a part of that, also the Time Person of the Year also too, for people being able to say, hey, this is done to me, it's not right, and here's a platform for us to stand together, talk about it, move forward. And I know that you mentioned something to me about
the Time's Up movement. And so the Time's Up movement is basically, and I had to look it up because I was, I heard a lot about it, but I was like, let me see what it's really about. And so basically it's a group founded, it's a legal defense fund that provides subsidized legal support to those who experience sexual harassment and assault abuse in the workplace. So like for me, I felt like, the boss was screaming at everybody. That's abuse. Right. So that too falls in the line of harassment, and that should be reported because no one should be at work feeling abused, getting hollered at for whatever reason. So this is a legal defense fund, which is great. So now it's the Time's Up movement. So Me Too and Time's Up movement is
working together.
That's
nice.
Yes. So that's good.
I mean, I definitely, like I said, I'm such a huge fan. I'm a feminist. I think I would just, feminist. I think so. So like I said, I am that person who supports those platforms for people to speak their truths.
Absolutely.
Because we all have our own truths, and I feel like as long as there's a place for you, a forum for you to speak about it,
Right.
talk about it, tell people, educate people, because maybe someone next to you is going through the same exact thing, and you work together to figure out how can we end this or move forward and progress. And I'm all about self-love and self-healing, and go ahead.
I'm looking at you and I'm saying, wow, this is my daughter. And I know that you watched me as you were growing up.
Correct.
I used to have a women's support group called Prestigious Women's Association. It was a nonprofit organization supporting women in need.
Yep.
No matter what level of life you were in, you could be, making $100,000 a year to making $0 a year. And we supported you and I brought the girls involved.
Yeah.
We did, teas and luncheons, and we had speakers come in and just downright support women. And I know a lot of my girlfriends today ask me, when are you going to get that back started again?
Soon.
And I think I need to pass it on to her because she's doing a great job with supporting.
Yay, mother and daughter. We're in this mother and daughter team stage, so we should just stick there. I'll follow your lead. You go ahead, you do it. And no, but I definitely feel like actually that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's time to start that up again.
Because I see you and your girlfriends. I mean, they've been friends from junior high school, and they, to this day, get together with their children, and they meet once a month. They go on a girls' trip. They take their kids out together, and I really, admire that you guys still communicate, and you have built a relationship from many years, from childhood, and that's all I ever wanted was my kids to have stability and to, build relationships.
Lasting relationships.
Lasting relationships.
Definitely.
And so,
I'm very blessed.
Yes, you are.
All right. Anything else you want to add? I think we've touched on it all.
So if you have more advice, we're more open to answer any questions you may have. You can just put it in.
Leave tips or things that you
if you want to add to, if you have any advice for us that we can share with our viewers, that would be great. So I think we're good.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.